Okay, you should be good, Judge.
Okay, very good. Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Judge Lawrence Morales, and this is the April 7th, 2021 court docket for the city of China Grove. Before we get started, just a few instructions that I need to give you so that way the process will go a little smoother. First of all, we are live streaming on YouTube. So please do not give us any personal information that you don't want out there in the web. If there is some information that we need, we will either put you out in a breakout room or we'll have you call the court to give us that information. For those individuals that are joining us on YouTube, welcome. These are legal proceedings and they are not to be recorded. For the individuals that are here today, on the docket as well, please do not record these proceedings as they are legal. Now, as far as instructions, when I call your name, I'm going to read the charges that are filed against you. Before I can do anything, I need to take a plea from you. The three pleas that you need to be aware of is one, your plea of guilty, where you admit the charges filed against you. Your plea of not guilty, where you deny the charges filed against you. Or your plea of no contest where you admit it nor deny it. You just want to take care of the business before the court and move on. For our purposes here today, there really is no difference between the guilty plea and the no contest plea. Now, the reason I point that out is because if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, in essence, you are incriminating yourself. The cases that we hear at this level are Class C misdemeanors, which means they are criminal in nature. As a result of that, it triggers certain constitutional rights. So if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, in essence, you are either giving up, you're waiving those rights, and the rights are as follows. First of all, you have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. As far as these charges are concerned, the state of Texas has to prove the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to enter a plea of not guilty and request a trial either in front of a judge or a jury. You have the right to bring in witnesses to testify on your behalf with regard to the citation, and you have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses with regard to the facts surrounding the citation. So like I mentioned to you, if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest, in essence, you are giving up those rights. Okay, now, if you enter a plea of not guilty and you want a non-jury trial, which means that a judge would make a decision, we will put you on a non-jury docket with other non-jury cases, and we will hear as many as we can in any given day. Now, if you want a trial in front of a jury, you will be required to make two appearances. The first appearance is a pretrial conference. The purpose of that is to address any legal issues that need to be addressed before the actual trial itself. It's very important that you show up for that because if you do not, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest. The second setting is the actual trial, and that's where we bring in citizens from the city of China Grove that will sit in judgment. It's extremely important that you show up for that because if you do not, we may have to do it all over again, and whatever it costs the city to set that up, that cost may be passed on to you regardless of the outcome of the case. So let's say, for example, you missed your jury trial. We had to redo it, and then you're found not guilty, but then you're facing a big bill because you didn't show up the first time. And the point that I'm trying to make is just make sure that you appear on all court dockets. That way, you won't run into a problem of that nature. Okay, now I do see where we have at least some individuals that have a CDL. I don't know if they're here, but I'm going to go ahead and go over that. If you have a commercial driver's license, a CDL, and you have a moving violation like a speeding, a stop sign, a red light, things of that nature, I do not have the authority to grant defensive driving, nor can I consider deferred disposition. Your only two options available with the court is either to pay the fine or to enter a plea of not guilty and take it to trial. Now, if you want to talk to the prosecutor, we'll allow you to do that to see if there's something y'all can do to work it out. But as far as the court is concerned, I do not have the authority. Now, if we do have some individuals under the age of 25, for those individuals, if you want your case dismissed, you will be required to attend a defensive driving class. Now, for everyone else, there's two ways to get a ticket dismissed. One, and which is the least expensive way, is to take a defensive driving class. If you qualify, then you'll be given 90 days to do the class. You've got to pay the court cost in advance. And then as long as you turn in your paperwork and pay up all your fees, then the case will be dismissed. The second way to get a ticket dismissed is what we call deferred disposition. And that's nothing more than probation. Now, deferred disposition is discretionary with the court. I can grant it. I don't have to grant it if I don't want to. However, if I do grant it, you will be required to pay a special expense fee. You will be put on probation anywhere from 1 day to 180 days. I may or may not set additional conditions and terms, but if you do everything you're supposed to do, that ticket will wind up getting dismissed. Once again, any ticket that is dismissed does not get reported to DPS, so therefore would not show up on your driving record. Now, finally, if you're here and you want to pay the fine or fines, but you don't have the money, let us know. We will do what we call a time pay. What that basically means is that we will give you 30 days to pay the fine or fines. If you pay them, well, then you've satisfied your obligation. However, if you go beyond the 30 days, we will put you on a time payment plan with a minimum payment of $50 a month until the whole amount is paid. However, the state of Texas mandates a $15 time payment fee per violation. So if you have multiple violations, try to take care of as many as you can within that 30-day period, and that way you'll save yourself the $15 per citation. Last thing before we actually start calling the docket, we have with us today Mr. John Mead, who is the prosecutor. Mr. Mead represents the state of Texas. He does not represent you. So for those individuals that either want to visit with him or have 3 or more citations, I'm going to give you an opportunity to visit with him to see if y'all can work something out that would be beneficial to both you and the state. And if you're able to reach an agreement, fine. If you're not, we can set it down for a trial. So it's just give you an opportunity to work something out. If you do enter into an agreement, we'll come back into court. We'll go ahead and put it into the record, and we'll get it resolved in that way. But if you have any questions, make sure you ask Mr. Mead, what are the consequences of not complying? He will shoot straight with you. So don't be afraid to ask any questions. Okay, Clarissa, I think with that, we're pretty much ready to go. And I see we do have Mr. Mead present. Okay, and you're muted, Clarissa.
Okay, we just had somebody join us, so I'm gonna, if it's okay with y'all, ask them to unmute themselves so we can get them logged in real quick before we start.
Sure.
If you just joined us from an iPhone, can you give me your name, please?
Yes, ma'am. I'm on here for Raul Suarez. I'm mom.
Oh, you're the mother. Okay. And what is your name, ma'am?
Norma.
Norma Suarez or?
Cordova.
Cordova. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Judge, so we're ready to go. If y'all would like, I can give you the order of the docket.
Yes, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, we're going to start with page 4. Toward the bottom, Brandon Wethington, 3 violations.
So he's number 1.
Mm-hmm. Number 2 is on the bottom of page 1, the last person on the list, Justin Madison, 2 violations.
Okay.
Number 2.
Okay.
Number 3 is also on page 1, the second person on the list, Megan Jenkins, 2 violations. No, I'm sorry. It's not her. It's Raul Suarez right below her.
Okay, so he's number 3.
So Raul Suarez is number 3.
Okay.
Number 4 is on page 4, the very last person, Kevin Cisneros, 5 violations. Number 4.
Okay.
Number 5 is on page 5. Fourth person from the bottom, Gregoria Viramontes, number 5.
Okay.
Number 6 is Michael Correa on page 2. He's in the middle. Michael
Got it.
Zane Correa, number 6.
Okay.
Number 7 is on page 2 as well at the very bottom, Leo Stevens Jr.
Number 7.
On page 1, the very first person, David Thornton, is number 8.
Okay.
Number 9 is on page 3, right in the middle, Jamin Cottle, Cottle, right in the middle, number 9. Number 10 is on page 1. Toward the bottom, Diane Hollister, 3 violations. Number 10.
10, okay.
Number 11 is on page 4, right in the middle, Marshall Roberts. Number 11. Number 12 is at the very top of page 2, Kimberly Spriggs. She's number 12. On page 4, in the middle, Jason Dennis, number 13. On page 2 in the middle, Barton Simpson, number 14. And then on page 5, the second person on the list, Joe Bernal Martinez, is number 15. We're going to go to page 3 in the middle. Adrian Dunson. He's number 16. Then we're going to stay on page 3 toward the bottom, the second from the last person to the bottom, Javier Hernandez. He's number 17. Then we're going to go to page 4. About the third or fourth person down, Emmis McLeod. He's number 18. Go to page 2. Fourth line down, Samuel, and I can't pronounce the last name, Gerodowicz. He's number 19. Back to page 1. Second person on the list, Megan Jenkins, is number 20. Page 2. About the fifth line down, Julia James, 3 violations, number 21. Then we're going to go to page 3. First person on the list, Nicholas Berger, number 22. And one more. Let's see, where's 23? I don't have him on here yet. Then we're looking, page 5. Right in the middle, Nicholas Paz. He's number 23. That should be everybody.
Okay, very good. Okay, before we start breaking out into breakout rooms and calling the cases, for those individuals that are here on video, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. I'm going to administer an oath. When I call your name, since you are on mute, if you'll just give me a thumbs up to acknowledge taking the oath. For those individuals that are on On audio, I will ask you when I call your case up. So if everyone will raise your right hand. Okay, do you swear the testimony you're about to give in this call will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Okay, Kevin Cisneros, you acknowledge taking the oath, sir. You've given me a thumbs up. Great, thank you. Barton Simpson. Okay, I don't have you on your screen. We'll come back to you. Emmas McLeod, you acknowledge taking the oath, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr. Simpson, Barton, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? If you can give me a thumbs up. Great, thank you. Okay, then we'll go to Samuel.
Words of
Okay,
Dr.
thank you.
Shelley, who is the authority on virology in the world. He's not an epidemiologist.
Okay, Nicholas Berger, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? If you give me a thumbs up. Thank you, sir. Nicolas Paz, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? Thank you, sir. Georgina Vermont, thank you, ma'am. Julia James, thank you, ma'am. Joe Bernal, do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? There you go, thank you, sir. Megan Jenkins, thank you, ma'am. Leo Stevens Jr., do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir? Thank you. Justin Madison, thank you, sir. Diane Hollister, thank you, ma'am. And I've got Barton Simpson twice. Okay, for the rest of y'all, we'll acknowledge it when we call your case up. Okay, Clarissa, so do we want to go ahead and get Mr. Mead in with?
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay, so John, we're going to send you in right off the bat with the first person on the list, Brandon Wethington. He is on page 4 toward the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, Brandon, if you go ahead and unmute yourself, you're going to go into the breakout room and talk about your case with John Mead, the prosecuting attorney. What just happened? Okay, there they go. Okay, so Judge, that leaves us with the first person on our list of Justin Madison, and he is on page 1 at the bottom.
Got him.
2 violations.
Got him. Okay, Mr. Madison, if you can unmute yourself, sir.
It's hard.
Yes, sir. My apologies. It's going to be pretty loud. We're in the middle of a passing period.
Okay, well, we'll do the best we can here. We'll try to get it done. Okay, Mr. Madison, you have a charge of an expired registration. How do you plead, sir?
I plead guilty on that. And I did take care of the registration as well.
Okay, let me ask you this. Did you do that within 20 business days from the time of the violation?
No, they told me not to. When I had went to the place to get it, they told me it would have been pointless because I would have had to get another one the next week. Coach Gay's class is upstairs.
Basketball?
No, this is not last period. You should be in class right now. He doesn't have basketball right now.
What spirit is it?
It's upstairs, green hallway.
So which period is it?
It's only 246, 8th period, 5th period, 8th, no, 246 period. 6th. Bye. Have a good day.
Mr. Madison, I'm not quite sure if I understand. What did they mean by it would be pointless?
Because they said that if I would have paid the $108, which is included the violation, that I would have had to pay another $85 the next week to get another registration because they could only get the registration for the specific month that like the registration month doesn't change or something like that. And so I literally had to wait an extra week to get it.
Wow, okay.
She was like, it'll just prevent me from paying twice because I would have had to pay the 108 with the violation. And then the next week I would have had to pay another 80 for the year.
Well, now, was your registration expired?
Yes, the registration was expired.
Okay, because I don't understand. Normally, if it's expired and you go renew it, they're going to renew it as of the time that it expired. So I don't know what they meant by that.
Yeah, because it expired in March. And so I went in March and they told me to wait till April 1st to get it because then it would be a full year. If not, I would have to come back April 1st and get another one.
And are we talking April 1st of this year?
Yes, sir. Correct.
God, I don't understand why they told you that. I just don't see how that makes any sense. Okay,
And I have the receipt and everything.
okay. Well, let me ask you this. What was the date that you got it renewed?
I got it renewed April 1st. Are you talking about the original?
Well, you received a citation back on December 29th of 2020. So did you renew it or attempt to renew it within 20 days from that day?
I did go to renew it, but they told me that's when they had told me to wait because it's gonna expire anyways and it'll be pointless to pay twice.
And that was
I
in.
went back every month just to see if it would change, and they told me the same thing.
So you went in January?
Yes, sir. I went January, February, and March.
Hmm.
And they kept telling me the same thing. They was like, not yet, unless you want to have to end up paying twice.
You know, Mr. Madison, and honestly, I don't understand the logic that they gave you. But it could very well be that maybe it's just my bad. But these are the two options that I have that I can offer you. Number one, in order for me to dismiss it with a $20 dismissal fee, I would basically need two things. I would need a receipt showing that it was done within 20 business days and a delinquent penalty paid. But since you were told that that wasn't advisable, then if you can get me a letter from them explaining their decision, otherwise I'd have to charge you the 116. Do you want to try to get a letter from the county?
Yes, sir. I can do that. I mean, whichever, like I just wanted I want to take care of it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Your Honor. Like I'm a little older than I used to be when I was younger now. So I'm a lot more mature than I used to be. And yeah, just trying to get my life on track, get what I'm supposed to get done.
Okay. Well, I mean, what I can do, I mean, the fine is $116.
Mhm.
Say, I mean, I'd be able to knock it down to to an even 100. If that'll help you.
Okay, and then I know I have another one as well.
Yes. Yeah, and tell me about your driver's license. Why is it invalid or suspended?
I did not know that I had a pending ticket in not a pending ticket, overdone ticket in Lano, Texas. Go in the class. No, go to class. Y'all need to go to class. Let's go. Then go in the classroom. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm a high school teacher.
That's okay.
Apologize.
Has your license been reinstated?
No, not yet. I'm actually I have to go to court with Lano in 2 weeks to discuss the tail light ticket that I had with them.
Okay. So do you just want to pay that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and assess a fine of $236. And then on the registration, I'm going to knock it down to 100. Can you pay that today or do you need some time?
I just need a little bit of time. I get paid at the end of the month.
Okay, we'll go ahead and put you on the time pay. So that'll give you 30 days to pay them. And
Yes,
as
sir.
long as you do it within the 30 days, you're done. However, if it goes beyond 30 days, then they're going to tack on $15 for any case it goes beyond the 30 days.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Madison, do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir. I'm just gonna get my class started.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, sir, for appearing.
Yes, sir. You have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, I see we have Mr. Mead back. Mr. Mead, what do we have?
Yes, Your Honor. I talked to Mr. Wellington. He, as you will notice, there has a CDL.
Yes.
So what he's going to do is plead no contest on the speeding ticket. I'm going to recommend the court find him guilty of the reduced offense of 54 and a 50 instead of 58 and a 50.
Okay.
On the failed to provide insurance, he's going to plead no contest, 6 months deferred, $300, condition he maintain insurance during the period of probation. And I'm going to no pros the failure to provide evidence of insurance with the court's permission.
Okay, yeah, that would be fine. Okay, Mr. Is it Weddington or Weatherington? Where are you at, sir? If you can unmute yourself.
I hope he didn't go away.
Um,
Oh, I don't see him.
is he back from the breakout room?
Should
Hey,
be, it
Kate.
closed.
He came back from the breakout room, but I can't find him now.
Mr. Withington?
He's in New Mexico, so maybe he lost his signal or something.
Maybe so. I don't see him on here.
Okay, well, I've got
He'll
Please-
probably come back.
yeah, if we get him back on, I'll go over that with him. Mr. B, does he understand that it's the speeding violation, even though it is being reduced, will still go on his record?
Yes, I
Okay,
explained to him the only thing he can do by reducing it to less than 10% over the limit is possibly save a point on his CDL.
right. And how much was the fine on that?
I'm gonna do $220.
Okay, and then his plea on the deferred, was that no contest as well?
Both were no contest, or will be no contest.
Okay,
And I'm sorry, Mr. Me, but I didn't get that fine amount on the speeding. How much?
220.
220, got it. Okay, and then deferred on the failure to maintain insurance. Okay. And do you know how he's gonna pay all this?
I believe he's going to pay the court cost on the failure to maintain insurance today. He's going to want time pay on the speeding. And I told him that I would recommend the court allow him to pay out the balance of the special expense fee on the deferred.
Okay. Okay, well, once he comes back, we'll go over that with him.
okay, I have a couple things here. We have a gentleman by the name of Javier Mendoza Hernandez. Mr. Mendoza Hernandez, are you there? Can you unmute yourself? Javier Mendoza Hernandez, can you unmute your phone? He had previously, there you go.
Okay.
Mr. Mendoza Hernandez, you had previously written us and requested a payment plan. So we have put you on a payment plan. Is that not what you want to do?
But really, I don't know if my email went through because
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
went
too sure
through.
on the email.
Yes, it went through and you are on a payment plan. So you can actually disconnect and don't have to sit through court.
Okay, you gonna send me some paperwork on that?
We mailed you a form to sign, okay?
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Clarissa, was he on today's docket?
He's number 17 on the docket.
Okay, so we're,
Yeah, we couldn't find his file and that's why.
Where is he at?
He
On
is on
page
page 3, down at the bottom. So he's off, and then we had 2 more people call in. We have somebody calling from the phone number, last 3 digits, 547. What is your name? If you're calling from a phone number that ends in 547, what is your name?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Steven Cepeda, Z-E-P-E-D-A.
He's on
Did you say S-T-E-V-E-N?
It's actually S-T-E-P-H-E-N.
P-H-E-N? And what was your last name? I'm sorry?
Cepeda, Z is in zebra, E,
Mhm.
P is in Peter, E, D is in David, A.
Okay.
he's on page 1, Clarissa.
Thank you. So he is going to be number
Where is
20.
he?
He's number 24 on page 1, right in the middle.
Yeah, Stephen Thomas Cepeda.
And then I
Yes,
think
sir.
we have one more in here. Okay, you can go ahead and mute yourself, sir. Here, I'll mute you. We got you logged in now. There was somebody else on here I could have sworn I just brought in, but I don't see them now. Maybe they're on the second page. We're on 2 pages now, so it gets a little confusing. Steve, there's a gentleman by the name of Steve on here. It came in as your first name, Steve, but I don't think you have any audio, sir, because I can't hear you. I see you're talking, but we can't hear you on this side. Yeah, I don't think your audio's working. You might have to use your phone and call in.
You said Steve or Stevens?
No, I have you, Mr. Stevens.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
This
All right.
this gentleman is first name Steven, or Steve, I think it says Steve on here. Might want to use your phone and call in, sir. Okay, I'm gonna open up a breakout room real quick, John, with because you have quite a few, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me put you in a breakout room with Kevin Cisneros, and he is on the bottom of 4.
Ma'am, I think Steve is trying to show you his name.
Okay, but we're gonna need to be able to talk to you, sir. So you're gonna have to get your audio working for the judge to be able to communicate with you. Okay, John, Kevin Cisneros, if you can unmute your phone, I'm gonna open up the room so you can talk to John Mead. All right, Judge, our next person is a juvenile by the name of Raul Suarez. His mother is here with him. Her name is Norma Cordova,
Okay.
and Raul is on the middle of page 1.
Okay, and where is he at on the screen?
Middle of page 1, oh, on the screen.
There he
Are
is.
we still?
Okay, so we have him by audio. Mr. Raul Suarez, can you mute yourself, sir?
Yes.
There it is.
Okay, can you hear me?
Ms.
Yes.
Cordova, you as well. Let me,
Okay.
Yes.
there you go.
Cordova.
Okay.
Ms. Cordova, are you Raul Anthony Suarez's mother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so going to Raul Suarez. Let's see, Raul, you're 15 years old, is that correct?
16.
16 now, but at the time of the offense, were you 15?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge,
Now,
he's been reset a couple times. You gave him time to get his driver's license.
Okay, so where are we at on that, Raul? Have you gotten your license?
No, I'm working on getting a VOE from school. That's the only piece. That's the only missing piece to getting the learner's permit.
And what's the problem?
The attendance, the school is logging my attendance, and they said it's gonna take a while.
I don't understand.
Because I had went to the office over there on what is it, Patton Booker. I had an appointment, and I wasn't aware that I needed a VOE, and so I wasn't able to get it at that day. So I had to call the school to ask for a VOE, and they said it's going to take them a while because they're logging my attendance for the VOE.
Well, did they give you any idea as to when that's going to happen?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and take a plea from you. To the charge of no driver's license, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. Okay, let me talk to Mrs. Is it Cardona or Cordova?
Cordova.
Cordova. Ms.
Yes, sir.
Cordova, do you know anything about the problems that he's having to get those items so he can get a license?
No, he did go to DPS. I think it was on the 30th or the 31st of March. And like he said, we weren't aware that he needed the VOE. I have submitted some paperwork to the school because he's doing virtual at home. So right now they're kind of messed up with the attendance. I did talk to the school earlier, but there's no telling when they're going to have that form ready. But I will continue to follow up with the school to see when we can get that form so that he can take it to DPS and get his permit. So it's just a waiting period. I mean, we're just waiting on the school to get us that form.
Okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him a final reset
Okay.
for 45 days.
Okay.
Now, if nothing happens by the next court date, then we're just going to have to go ahead and assess a fine.
Okay.
Okay, because
That's
it's
fine.
already been 3 resets already. This will be the 4th.
Yes. So let me ask you, sir, if he gets that before the court date, can I call you with that information or does he have to wait till the court date?
No, he's gonna have to wait till the court date, but it would be
Wait.
nice if we had that information in advance, though.
Okay. Okay, so once I get that form and he goes to DPS and gets that permit, I will call the office and let y'all know.
Very
Okay.
good.
All right, Clarissa, do we need anything from Raul or Mrs. Cordova?
No, we should be good.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse y'all. Raul, thank you for being here. Ms. Cordova, thank you for being here, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Clarissa, number 5. Who is number
Yes.
5?
Gregoria Veramontes on the bottom of page 1. I'm sorry, 5. The bottom of page 5.
We don't have Mr.
This
Mead.
has one violation, Judge.
One violation. Okay. Miss Georgia Viramontes, if you can unmute yourself. Okay, very good. There you are. Okay, Miss Viramontes, you have a charge of speeding. It's alleged you were doing 69 and a 50. To that charge, how do you plead?
I do not believe that I was going 69.
Okay, do you want to plead not guilty to that charge and talk to the prosecutor, or just want to plead not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and enter your plea of not guilty. Did you want a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
Just the judge.
Judge, okay, all right. Okay, so what we're going to do, ma'am, is we're going to go ahead and put you on a non-jury docket. And then, on that particular day, you'll have a chance to talk to the prosecutor and see if y'all can work something out. If not, we'll have a trial that day.
Okay, sounds good.
Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Viramontes?
Ms. Viramontes, are you still on Stewart Road?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'll send it there, okay? You'll just need to fill out a not guilty form and send it back to us.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for appearing. Okay, Mr. Mead.
Yes,
All right, let's see. You were visiting with who now?
Mr. Cisneros.
Narrows. Okay, got it.
Page 4.
Page 4.
He's here on,
We're all
He's
able to
here with
reach an agreement?
yeah, Mr. Cisneros, unmute yourself so the judge can hear you. Okay, there you are. Yeah, we were, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Cisneros is going to need a reset. This is his first appearance.
Reset.
We talked about what we're going to do when he comes back, and there's a couple things he needs to do. So I think he only needs 30 days and he'll be ready to take care of the whole thing.
Is that enough time, Mr. Cisneros?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grant the request for a reset. And I'm going to go ahead and reset it for 30 days.
Perfect.
Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Cisneros?
Mr. Cisneros, you're still on Triple Tree?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
Okay, thank you. I'll send you a reset form there, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you, sir.
Cisneros. Excuse, sir.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, Mr. Mead, I am going to send you into the breakout room with Leo Stevens Jr. He's on page 2.
Page 2.
Mm-hmm. He should be number 7 on page 2. Mr. Stevens, if you can, oh, you already unmuted yourself. You're good to go. Okay, I'm going to open up the room now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Judge, we have Michael Correa. He is on page 2 in the middle.
I got him. Michael Zane.
Yes, sir.
That's him.
Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Zane, let me see here. Now, you are under the age of 25. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, Mr. Correa, you have a charge here of speeding. It's alleged you were doing 65 and a 50. And let me see, where are you, sir?
Oh, my camera is not working
There
right
you
now,
are.
sir.
Okay. Okay,
Yep.
before I take your plea, do you acknowledge taking the oath that I administered earlier, sir?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, so how do you plead to the charge of speeding 65 and a 50?
Guilty.
Okay, and what did you want to do with this citation?
What are my options with that?
Well, because you're under the age of 25, the only option you have available is, and since that you're under 25, is to take the defensive driving class. That'll get it dismissed.
Yes, sir.
And then the other option is to pay the fine, but if you do that, you'll go on your driving record.
I'll take the driver's course, sir.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you 4 questions. Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Are you covered by insurance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have you taken the defensive driving class to get a ticket dismissed within the last 12 months?
No, sir.
Okay, and can you pay $144 court cost?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you pay that today?
Yes, sir. Is there a time in which I need to get that in by, or
Well, by
4
5 o'clock.
o'clock.
5 o'clock? Okay.
4, it would be
4
4
o'clock.
o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. And that is that in person or?
However you choose. We would need you to, we can, if you call us, we can tell you how to text over your copy of your driver's license and your insurance. And then you can pay the 144 over the phone.
Okay.
Anyone that pays with a credit or debit card, though, the system we use does charge a 5% processing fee. So it goes up a little bit. For the 144, it'd be about $7 fee just to pay it like that.
Yes,
The only way to get around that is to pay with the cashier's check, money order, or cash.
okay.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. That sounds good.
thank you.
Okay, Mr. Correa, thank you for appearing, sir. I'm going to go ahead and excuse you.
Yep. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You too.
Okay, Judge, we have Jamon Cottle on page 3. Right about the middle, number 9.
Number 9, got it. Okay, Mr. Cottle, where are you?
He's there, but I think he is muted.
Yes.
Need to
can you
unmute your
yourself,
phone, Mr. Cottle. Or Miss Cottle. I'm not sure if it's on.
Yes, my name's Jamine Cotto. I'm a lady.
Domine. I like that. That's pretty.
Yamane. Okay, very good. Okay, Miss Cottle, let's see. Okay, Miss Cottle, do you acknowledge taking the oath that I administered earlier?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, you're charged with the offense of possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia. How do you plead?
I'm sorry, Judge, I had a question.
Okay.
It's delivery of drug paraphernalia?
Well, it's either possession or, so it could be either possession. More than.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was confused, but yes, sir. Guilty.
Okay, and what did you want to do with this citation, ma'am?
What are my options?
Okay, well, let's see, option number 1, and option number 1, which is not the preferred one, is to pay a fine. But if you do that, that will go on your record. Option number 2 is to be placed on probation, on deferred disposition. And that would be a special expense fee of $250 and then similar violation for 90 days.
So I would be on sorry, I would be on probation for 90 days and pay the cost of $250.
That's correct. Well, it's a special expense fee. Now, the only condition of probation is that you don't pick up a similar offense within that 90-day period.
Correct.
Yes. Good.
Yes, I would like to go with that option.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and let me ask you this. Can you pay that $250 today?
No, not today.
Can you pay $81 of it today?
Yes.
Okay, what I'm going to do in order so I can get you going on deferred is I'm going to ask you to go ahead and pay the $81 today. And then I'm going to give you the 90 days to pay the balance.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Clarissa, do we need any information from Ms. Cottle?
No, Ms. Cottle, I just need to make sure you call us to go ahead and either call us or come by 4 o'clock today to take care of that. Do you have a phone number for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It'll be, would you like me to give it to you now or?
I just need you to call the office to go ahead and take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Cottle, I'm going to go ahead and excuse you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you for appearing.
Okay, and it doesn't look like we have John Mead back yet, so we have, I don't think.
12.
Okay, so we should have Kimberly Spriggs.
Right.
On page 2.
Page 2. Okay, Miss Spriggs. Let's see. Where are you, ma'am? There you are. Okay, I can see you now. Ms. Briggs, you're on the phone. I administered an oath earlier today. Do you acknowledge taking that oath?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Ms. Briggs, you have an offense of failed to maintain insurance. To that charge, how do you plead?
Yes, Judge, I have a question on that. I want to plead not guilty, but I no longer have that vehicle and I do not have the proof that I had it at the time, but I have a screenshot where that at that moment when we were stopped, my son added me to his because I was having problems with the electronic card coming, my insurance, my internet coming up on my phone and being able to pull my insurance up.
Well, now let me ask you this. Now, at the time of the stop, were you covered or were they adding you on to the insurance?
Both.
So you worked.
And I talked. Yes, and I talked to the cop, and the cop said, if I would have known you were adding that one, since you couldn't, your internet wasn't working to pull it up, he says, I would have been able to let you go. He said, but I can't let you go because I've already made the call to the tow truck.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So can you provide us with documentation showing that at the time of the stop, you were covered?
I don't have that vehicle anymore. The engine blew on it, and
it wouldn't matter
I'm
if
sorry?
it's on that vehicle. What I would like to know is, were you covered by any insurance on that day?
Yes, but I don't have that insurance company anymore because we didn't have that vehicle. We didn't have a vehicle after the engine blew. But I have like I said, I have the screenshot where my son added me and sent it to me in a text with that vehicle that I showed the cop, and the cop said, well, with that I could have dismissed it and let you go, but I can't now because I've already called the tow truck. The tow truck wasn't even there.
Okay. Well, I'm a bit confused.
We had root insurance, but because they do everything electronically, I could not. My internet has like a dead spot right there through China Grove that I did not know, I was not aware of, and so I could not pull my insurance card up on my insurance. That's the only vehicle we had at the time.
Okay.
The engine blew, and we canceled our insurance in January, and so we did not have another vehicle until late February. We got another vehicle, and then I went with Geico because of Geico not having the electronic card.
Well, let me ask you this. Why could you not contact the insurance company that was in effect at that time and get something from them showing you were covered?
I've tried, and they said you should be able to pull it up on your phone, but you pull it up on my phone and it says to start a quote because I can't. I don't have their insurance anymore.
Yeah, but they can pull up the old stuff.
Yeah,
we call them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried.
Okay. Well,
I've tried. So that's what I was asking. So I didn't know how to plead because I don't have a copy of that insurance.
Okay. Well, I mean,
because it was very traumatic. I have never been in trouble, and it was very traumatic. My daughter was taken to the hospital from that stop because of problem pregnancy.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what I need, ma'am. I need
Yes, sir.
something showing that you were covered on that day. And I understand everything that you're telling me, but I can't just dismiss it without me being able to put something in the file. So if you're not able to contact that old insurance company, then the only thing we have available is for you to pay that fine.
Okay, I guess that's my only option because I've been trying since December. It cost me $800 to get my truck out, just to lose my truck because the engine blew.
Okay.
And
Do you just
Ma'am.
want to pay that fine, ma'am?
I don't guess I have any other option because I've been working with trying to get Root to cooperate. I can't get them to cooperate with me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about that, but I tell you what I will do though. I will go ahead and dismiss the failure to provide evidence of insurance.
Okay.
Do you need some time to pay this $266?
Yes, sir. And I can't get the deferred deposition, right?
Well, yeah, you could get deferred, but it's going to cost you more money. It's more expensive. And then, of course, you would have to provide proof of insurance for the next 6 months. You want to do that? So you're looking at 300 as opposed to the 266, but the deferred would keep it off your record. So
I'm sorry, I'm exhausted because I was in the hospital with my daughter last night. It was, what did you say, 300?
Yes, ma'am. Of which you would have to pay 81 before I can put you on the deferred.
No, I can't. I don't have anything today.
Okay. Okay, so why don't we do this, Clarissa? Let's go ahead and reset her for 30 days.
Okay, for how long, Judge?
30 days.
Okay, and then do you want to pre-approve her for the deferred or?
Yes, if she's able to do the deferred, I'll go ahead and pre-approve it.
Is she approved for the 81 and then balance by end, or is
Yes.
she? Okay.
Yes. And then we're going to go ahead and dismiss the failure to provide.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Briggs, now if you're able to get that $81 before the next court date, then call us, make that payment, and then you don't have to show up at the next court date.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Clarissa, anything else from Ms. Briggs?
Ms. Briggs, are you still at, I can't read that.
Mount Olive Road.
Yeah, but what is the, is it 2204?
Yes, the apartment number. Yes,
The
ma'am.
apartment. Okay, 2204. Okay, thank you. I'll mail it there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Mead. Let's see, who were you visiting with, Mr. Mead?
He had Leo Stevens Jr.
Where is he at? Leo?
What number?
How you doing? How you?
He's on the bottom of page 2.
Got him. Okay, Mr. Mead, is Mr. Stevens back?
Yes, he's here.
There he is. Okay. Mr. Stevens, if you can listen up to what Mr. Mead is going to tell the court. Were you able to reach an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what do we have?
Mr. Stevens is going to do a straight plea of no contest on the possession of drug paraphernalia and the recommended fine, $300.
Okay.
And Mr. Stevens is going to take 120 days deferred.
On which one?
Speeding.
Okay.
And that's going to be recommended $300 in special expense fee.
Okay.
On the license case, I'm going to take that into consideration and ask the court to dismiss it.
Okay, Mr. Stevens, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Mead, what is going to be his plea on the speeding charge?
No contest on both, Your Honor.
Okay. As far as payment, is there any discussion
I
on that?
believe Mr. Stevens is going to put, we talked about payment, he's going to pay $200, which is the 134 needs to go towards the court cost on the speeding. And he says he can pay the rest of it within the 30 days.
Okay. So the court cost on the speeding would be today?
Yeah, plus a little bit more.
Okay, and then
And then
on the straight pay, just a time pay.
Time. Well, he thinks he can pay all of it within 30 days, but yeah, he needs time pay.
Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Stevens, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir? Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now to the charge of speeding, sir, how do you plead?
No content.
Okay, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest. I'm going to place you on deferred for 120 days. Assess a special expense fee of $100. You will pay at least the 134 court costs today. To the charge of possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia, how do you plead?
No content.
I'm going to accept your plea of no contest, assess a fine of $300, put you on a time pay, and if you can pay that within the 30 days, then you'll save yourselves a time payment fee. And then the state is taking into consideration the driving while license invalid or suspended, and that charge will be dismissed. Okay, Mr. Mead and Mr. Stevens, did I miss anything?
I don't
No,
believe
sir.
so, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Stevens?
I just need to give Mr. Stevens a phone number so he can call us and make arrangements to make that paid by today at 4.
He's gonna come by and pay it in cash. mind.
Oh, great. Come on by.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're at the
Mr.
city hall,
Stevens.
right?
Yes,
You're at the
sir.
city hall, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
thank you,
much.
sir. I'm going to go ahead and excuse you.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
Mr. Mead, I have David Thornton, first person on the list, page 1. It's got 4 violations. Mr. David Thornton, I'm going to go ahead and send you to the breakout room with John Mead. If you can unmute your phone, please, that would be great. All right, Judge, we are with Barton Simpson. He is on page 2 in the middle.
Okay, number
He
14.
has 2 violations. Mr. Simpson, if you can unmute your phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mr. Simpson, let's see, there you are. Okay, Mr.
sir.
Simpson, you have a charge here of speeding. It's alleged you were doing 65 and a 50. To that charge, sir, how do you plead?
I plead nolo contendere. I would like to ask the court if you would consider deferred adjudication for me. I'm happy to pay the extra fine.
Okay, all right, well, it would just be a one-time special expense fee. I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of no contest to the charge of speeding. I'm going to go ahead and place you on deferred disposition for a total amount of $250 and then place you on deferred for 90 days.
Thank you, sir.
All right, great. And now what about with regard to the displaying expired license plate?
So under the governor's order, and I explained to the officer, I actually brought up on Google and showed him the governor's order that there was a waiver to have the inspection, the stickers renewed through the time of COVID, which at that time, that order is I think it's still active today, but it was active then. So I would like to request that the court dismiss that charge as under the governor's order.
Okay.
Those tickets weren't supposed to be happening.
Well, now, because I have an offense date of February the 13th of 2021.
Yes,
And
sir.
it was my understanding that as long as the tax assessor's office was open and in business, that the executive order was not in effect. Do you have something that you can send to the court? We can take a look at it?
I do. Would this defer this process then? So how do I send it to you?
Well, if
You can text it to a phone and
Okay.
we can get it like immediately that way.
Okay, let me bring it up. So I'm going to send this. Governor Abbott extends. This is from the tax office. What number would you like me to send it to, ma'am?
210 837-3704.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, one more time, 210-837.
837-3704.
Okay,
Dismissed.
Can I be dismissed? Yeah, I called him and told him Leo Stevens.
Mr. Simpson, what's the date on that order?
Didn't you take care of it already?
December 1, 2020. Governor Greg Abbott is giving vehicle owners up to 9 months past their vehicle registration expiration date to renew their vehicle registration online. The governor's order telling law enforcement not to ticket those with an expired registration still stands. However, be aware that Abbott did not provide a waiver on sticker expiration date dates. For instance, drivers with a June 2020 will receive a sticker that expires June 2021. So in other words, what they're saying is that when we renew, that it's not a waiver. It's a when we renew. Hang on, let me read it one more time. I did not provide a waiver on sticker expiration dates. Drivers with a June 2020 will renew this month will receive a new sticker that expires June 2021. So they're just saying they're not. You just don't have to register. You don't have to register in a timely manner. When I go to get my sticker, it'll be backdated.
Okay. Clarissa, did you receive that?
Let me check. I don't have that file, I'm sorry.
I have another press release. It looks like it's straight from the governor's office.
Okay, Mr. Simpson,
Yes.
it looks like it may be the link, but it doesn't open. Is there any way you can just screenshot the screen you're on and text that to me?
Yes, ma'am. 210-837.
3704.
3704. This is a PDF.
Oh, is it like when you open it, can you screenshot that part?
It's yes, ma'am, I can. I just sent you a PDF, but I will screenshot it right now.
I tried to open it, but it will not open. Oh, there's a PDF. I see it. Hang on. I got you.
Yes.
Judge, I forwarded that to you as well.
In a text?
Yes, sir.
There it is. Okay.
That is for Travis County. I don't know if it would be any different.
No, it would be statewide.
Okay.
Maybe. Maybe.
Mr. Simpson, when did yours expire?
I
We already
believe
talked.
I actually have to walk out to my car. It's here.
I think it, you know what, I think it says on here on the ticket, August 31st, 2020, it expired.
Yes, ma'am. That's probably correct.
Well, or was that
I
the-
can walk out
that
to my
might be
car. I
the,
don't-
yeah, that should be it, August 31st, 2020.
Okay.
September, October, November,
Um,
December, January, February, March, April, May. So that would give him through May to get it done, it seems, by that letter.
By that letter.
If it's giving 9 months.
Right. If he's gonna renew online. Okay. Well, I tell you what, Mr. Simpson, I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss the charge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Simpson?
Mr. Simpson, I just need you to, can you take down, that same, you can call that same number. It's probably better if you call the court office number though, the
Yes, ma'am.
210-648-4923.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's to make arrangements to pay the deferred fee.
Yes, ma'am.
And we can get you on deferred, okay? Get that set up and started.
Should I, it looks like I can pay this online. Should I just log on and do that and then call you?
Well,
Let you
it's
know?
being that it's deferred, it's probably better to pay it over the phone because the amount online is going to be the fine amount and you're wanting deferred. So it's a different
Yes, ma'am.
amount. So it's going to might mess that up.
I'll call, when should I call? Should I wait a while? or
As
do it
long
right
as you can, as long as you call by 4 or 4:30 today at the latest, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Thank you, Mr.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mead, who were you visiting with?
He was with David Thornton on page 1.
Page
David
1.
Thornton, Your Honor.
Okay, is Mr. Thornton back?
He's back.
Okay, where are you? There you are. Okay, Mr. Thornton, you're on the phone. Earlier, I acknowledged an oath or gave you an oath. Do you acknowledge taking the oath?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. All right, Mr. Mead, what do we have?
Okay, Mr. Thorne's got 4 violations. He's gonna do straight pleas on 3 of the 4, and I'm gonna take into consideration 1.
Okay.
I plead no contest to the speeding, 80 and a 50. My recommended fine is $340. He's gonna plead no contest, no driver's license for $175.50. He's going to plead no contest to failure to maintain insurance for $350. And I'm going to take into consideration and dismiss the violate promise to appear.
And these are all straight fine?
Straight please. He's going to need time to pay.
Okay. Mr. Thornton, is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go ahead and go through this. Mr. Thornton, I need to take a plea from you to the charge of speeding 80 and a 50. How do you plead?
Guilty. No contest.
You plead no contest, okay.
No contest.
Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and assess the fine of $340 and give you time to pay. To the charge of no driver's license, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of no contest and assess a fine of $175, give you time to pay. To the charge of failed to maintain insurance, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'm gonna accept your plea of no contest, assess a fine of $350. The state is taking into consideration the violate promise to appear and that charge will be dismissed. Okay, Mr. Thornton, do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Thornton?
Mr. Thornton, are you still in apartment 202?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send your payment plan to that address, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Thornton, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
All right, John Mead, the next one I have for you is Diane Hollister. Ms. Hollister is on page 1. Ms. Hollister, if you can unmute your phone, you're going to be going into the breakout room with Attorney John Mead. Okay, Judge, we have Joe Bernal Martinez.
Number
He
15.
is on page 5 at the top.
Okay, all right. Mr. Joe Bernal Martinez, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, you have a charge of failed to maintain insurance. To that charge, how do you plead?
I plead guilty, sir.
Plead guilty?
Yes,
Okay.
but
And,
I also got insurance that same night.
okay, but at the time of the stop, you did not have it.
Yes, yes, sir, correct.
Okay, all right. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss the failed to provide evidence of insurance.
Okay.
So that will be dismissed. Now, what did you want to do on the failure to maintain?
What are my options?
Okay, well, option number 1, which is not preferred because it would go on your record, is to just pay a fine of $266.
Okay.
Now, the preferred one is to be placed on deferred for 6 months. The deferred fee would be $300, and you would have to maintain insurance for the 6 months. And then at the end of 6 months, if you'll send us in your proof of insurance, then it'll be dismissed.
Okay, I'll take that option.
You want to do the deferred? Okay. Now,
And that would not go on my record, correct?
that well, as long as you maintain your insurance and you pay the special expense fee.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how are you going to pay that special expense fee, sir?
I could make that payment, but it would be through a card.
Okay. Well, it would be a 5% processing fee. So that's what, $15?
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Clarissa, did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want him to call in?
Yes, if he can call in by 4:30 at the latest.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, make sure you get that done today, sir, so you can place you on deferred.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and excuse you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And looks like on page 3, Clarissa, Adrian Dunson.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Dunson, let's see, where are you? There you are. Okay, there you go. Can you hear me, Mr. Dunson?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Dunson, you have a charge of possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, and you also have a charge of speeding, 56 and a 35. How do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, let's talk about the speeding first. What did you want to do with that citation, sir?
What are my options?
Okay, well, the least expensive way to get it dismissed would be to take the defensive driving class.
Okay.
Okay, and that would run you, let's see here, $144. And then you would have 90 days to do the class, get a copy of your driving record, turn it in within that 90-day period, and then it would be dismissed. If you don't want to do the defensive driving, you can do deferred, but that would be a $300 deferred fee. And then
I can do the defensive driving, sir.
Deferred? Okay.
Oh, no, the defensive driving?
I'm sorry?
I think I'll do the defensive driving.
Defensive driving, okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and do the DSC. Let me ask you 4 questions. Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Are you covered by insurance, or were you covered on the day of the offense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have you taken the class within the last 12 months to get a ticket dismissed?
No, sir.
Okay, and can you pay the $144 today?
I cannot, but I get paid next week.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and talk about the other one before we address that one. What did you want to do on the possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia?
Also, what are my options on this?
Well, the best option is a deferred, and that deferred would be $250, which is still less than the fine. Okay.
Okay.
And that would be for 90 days. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to reset your cases for 30 days, but I'm going to go ahead and pre-approve you on that. So that means that you can come to court and pay those fees before the court date. And then if you do that, then you don't have to appear in court. But if
Okay.
you don't pay it, then you'd have to be back in court in 30 days.
Okay, I can do that.
All right. Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Dunson?
Mr. Dunson, are you still on Southton View?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll mail your reset form with the new court date to that address. Judge, can you tell me what the final decision was? I'm sorry, on the possession, was it deferred?
Yes. Deferred 250, 90 days. And
Okay.
pay at least the court cost. And then if he does that, then of course he'll have the balance of the probationary period to pay the balance.
Very good.
And on the defensive driving, pay the court cost before the court date.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Dunstan, did you understand all that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you get to pay these before the 30 days, before your next court date, then you do not have to appear on that court date. But if you do not pay them, then you have to appear in court in 30 days.
Okay, I'll definitely pay them before the 30 days. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you, sir.
You have a nice one.
Thank you.
Looks like we have John Mead back and
Hey, Mr. Mead, who were you visiting with?
Diane Hollister, Your Honor.
Hollister, okay, on page 1.
three.
She has three violations, Your Honor. Failure to provide, failure to maintain insurance, failure to provide evidence of insurance, and possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia. On the failure to maintain insurance, I'm going to recommend that she recommend 6 months deferred, special expense fee $300, conditions to maintain insurance. Based on her plea to the failure to maintain insurance, I'm going to no process the failure to provide evidence of insurance. On possession and delivery of drug paraphernalia, I have been informed that, and we got a message from Ms. Hollister's attorney yesterday at the office, telling me that she's been charged with another offense in a county court that arises out of the same transaction. And I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that, request court to dismiss that as well.
Okay.
She has two, maybe she got one case in county court, and I believe she might have another in the district court. They're all related to that.
Okay.
Paraphernalia. In fact, I think this drug paraphernalia might even be evidence in those other two cases.
Sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, Miss Hollister.
Yes, sir.
With regard to the charge of failed to maintain insurance, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of no contest. I'm going to go ahead and place you on deferred for 6 months.
Yes,
Special
sir.
expense fee of $300. You have to maintain insurance for 6 months.
Yes,
And
sir.
Mr. Mead, in payment as far as the deferred fee?
She was going to pay, I think, $200 today, Your Honor.
Okay.
And if you could pay all of it, Ms. Hollister, that would be better.
I'm gonna give it a good try. I'm at a job right now, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if not, then it's the balance will be due by the end of the 6 month period, Mr. Mead?
Yeah, that's fine, Your Honor.
All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and show that the state is non-prosecuting the charge of failed to provide evidence of insurance, so that charge will be dismissed.
Thank you.
And then with regard to the possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia, the state is going to dismiss that. Now, what that also means, Ms. Hollister, is that it's dismissed at our level as
Yes.
a Class C, but the district attorney's office, you know, they may handle that differently.
Yes, sir. I do understand. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Ms. Hollister?
No, Ms. Hollister, if you just give us a call to pay this deferred today by 4:30 at the latest.
Yes, ma'am, I will do. Thank you.
You have our phone number, ma'am?
I do. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
You.
Okay.
All right, John Mead, I'm gonna send you right back in, sorry. We have Marshall Roberts. He is, I don't know where let's see. He's
I found
on page 4. Mr. Roberts, if you can unmute your phone, you're gonna go and speak to Mr. Means.
Okay, thank
All right, and that leaves us with another juvenile. We have Samuel Gerotozik. I'm not sure how I'm pronouncing that, but he is on page 2. I believe his father might be with him.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. And pronounce your last name for me again, sir.
Gerotowic.
Gerotowic. Okay, and is your father there in the room with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful. How are you today?
Doing great. And what is your name, sir?
Philip Wade Gerotowic.
Okay. Okay, very good. Okay. Let's see. Now this is for Samuel. Samuel, you're 16 years old and you've been charged with the offense of speeding 71 in the 50. To that charge, sir, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
Contest. Okay. And where were you going in such a hurry?
I was going to San Antonio.
What was going on in San Antonio?
I was going to my girlfriend's house.
Okay, well, I guess that was important. Okay, so did you want to do the defensive driving?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, given your age, that's really the only option. I'm going to go ahead and place him on defensive driving. You're going to have to pay $144 in court cost. And can you pay that today, Samuel?
Your Honor, that's already been paid.
It has been paid, Clarissa?
Yes, sir. We mailed in a money order
Okay.
to the court.
Okay, well, I'll see if we can find that. I thought we mailed it back, but I'm not sure. I don't see it with your jacket. Let me see. Oh, this might be it. Hang on just a second. Yes, we do have it. We just haven't processed it because he needed to see you first.
Okay, very good. Okay, Samuel, I'm going to go ahead and place you on defensive driving. Make sure you do the class and get in your paperwork within the 90-day period. And then
Yes,
once
sir.
you do that, it'll end up being dismissed.
I have one more question, Your Honor. Is there anything I could get for like a note for school so that I was here?
Yes. Clarissa, can we get something for him for school?
Yes, we'll, do you have an email address you can you text us your email address? Let me give you a phone number. You text it to us, okay? And just put need note for school and we'll go ahead and email it to you. So it's 210-837-3704. And just note on there, you need a note for school and we'll get that to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm going to go ahead and excuse y'all. Thank you for appearing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure, have a good day.
You too.
Okay, Clarissa, looks like back to page 1. Megan Jenkins.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, Miss Jenkins, there you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Miss Jenkins, you have 2 charges here. One,
Yes, sir.
an expired registration. To that charge, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Okay, and what did you want to do? Did you just want to pay the fine? But these are back in 2018.
Yeah, I just got out of jail. I was actually in the federal holding for almost a year, well, 10 months. So like I'm just now getting on my feet. I just got off home confinement with the feds. And so I'm going to school full time, but I don't really have money right now.
Okay, so I understand that. Let me ask you this. Do you have time to do community service?
Well, I mean, yeah, I have to do 400 hours of community service for my federal stuff.
Okay.
And then I have 200 hours for my state stuff. So yeah, I do all kinds of community service.
Yeah, okay, I'll tell you what, and we can use those same hours that you do for either the state or the federal.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let me calculate how many hours I'm gonna need.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sure, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to need 20 hours per citation.
Okay.
Okay, so to the charge of expired registration, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, and to the charge of driving while license invalid or suspended, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea. I'm gonna go ahead and assess a fine of $189.80 and ask you to do 20 hours of community service. And
Okay.
we can use the community service hours that you earned through that federal charge. And
Okay.
state charge.
Yes, sir. So what do y'all, like, will a letter from my probation officer saying I
Yes.
have that many?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And
All right.
then I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of guilty to the driving while license invalid or suspended. Assess the fine of $319.80. I'm gonna go ahead and also assess 20 hours of community service. So just get a letter from your probation officer or parole officer and telling us that you've done those hours. And,
Okay. And so the fines are like $500, is that what you said?
well, it would be
Altogether?
$319.80 and $189.80. Let's see what that comes out to. $189.80 plus $319.
409.60?
Yeah, 509.60.
509, I'm sorry, 509.
Yeah. All right. Am I able to pay that in like payments or?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Am I able to pay that in like payments or do I need to come up with it all at once or?
Oh, well, you're doing community service. In lieu of-
So instead of the money, it's the community. Oh, okay.
Correct. Yes, it's in lieu of.
Judge, when is that due?
I'm gonna go ahead and give her.
I can have it to y'all by the end of the
week. Week are you doing for those other agencies?
I already have 80 hours of community service as of right now. I do like 3 to 4 hours every weekend because I'm on probation for 5 years, so I have a lot of time to.
Okay, why don't I go ahead for these hours? I'm gonna go ahead and give you 60 days.
Okay.
So 60 days to get that to us, okay, Megan?
Okay. And how many hours was it altogether?
Total of 40.
Okay, I have that. I can have that sent to y'all. I just need to go ahead and call my officer.
Yes, okay.
Alrighty.
Where are you doing the community service at?
I do it, so I do it here in Sutherland Springs. Well, not here, in Sutherland Springs for the cemetery.
Okay.
And then I also was working with a church, helping a lady on the weekends mow her grass and stuff, but it's through a program through the church so that it's nonprofit thing.
Okay.
And then I did another community service for my nephew's football and cheerleading thing. I worked the concession stand. So that was a few hours.
Great. Okay, well, those are all, those are for nonprofit. Okay, very good. Clarissa, do we need anything from Ms. Jenkins?
Ms. Jenkins, can I send your community service form to Kenny Road?
No, ma'am.
Okay, don't tell us your address, but can you call the court?
Yes,
and
ma'am,
let
I
us
will.
know? Okay, that'd be great. So call them today so we mail it to the right place, okay?
Okay. All right.
You have our number, or you can text it to us too. Yeah, text it to us, Megan, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Judge, we have John Mead back with Mr. Marshall Roberts.
That's correct, John.
Mr. Roberts.
Mr. Roberts is on
Page 4.
Page 4.
Okay, there he is. Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Mead, were y'all able to reach any agreement?
We've reached a variety of agreements, I think, but Mr. Roberts has requested a 30-day reset. This is his first appearance.
Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Roberts, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Roberts, I'm going to go ahead and reset your case for 30 days. Give you all a chance to work something out.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Roberts?
Mr. Roberts, are you still on FM 2980?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll send you your form there, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Okay, John
Thank you.
Mead, I have you going in with Jason Dennis. He
Okay.
is on page
He's on page 4 too.
4 also. Yes, sir. Look at you. Mr. Dennis, unmute yourself so you can go in the breakout room. And we have, let's see. Oh my goodness, I think it's the last one with just 2 violations. It should be Nicholas Paz.
Okay, he's a CDL, okay, but.
He is on page 5, yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Paz, let's see, where is Mr. Paz? There he is. Okay, Mr. Paz, can you hear me, sir? Okay, can you unmute yourself? I can't hear you.
There he goes. Oh. Uh-oh.
I still can't hear him.
It doesn't seem to be muted either. I don't know if his audio's not working. It was working earlier.
How about now?
There
Yeah,
you
there you
go.
go.
There you
All
go.
right.
Okay, we got you now. Okay, Mr. Paz, you have a charge of an expired registration. To that charge, how do you plead?
Non-contest.
Okay, and then you also have a charge of driving while license invalid or suspended. How do you plead?
Non-contest.
Okay. Well, Clarissa, before I go into the driver's license violation, it looks like we're pretty much in the same boat as that other executive order,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay. Have you tried to renew your registration, Mr. Paz?
Now, his registration, though, it looks like it was expired March 31st of 2019.
You just renewed the inspection yesterday, day before yesterday? Yesterday, and we're gonna get the papers to go ahead and transfer over, but the guy went out of town. He's not gonna be there till tomorrow. So I was trying to get everything all at one time so I could go ahead but since I have this court date, I might as well went to y'all with this information. That way y'all know what's going on.
Mr. Paz, did you just buy the vehicle?
My girlfriend did. It's her vehicle. She was in the hospital, and I drove for her because that's the only family she got.
Okay, so are you asking for a reset, Mr. Paz?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So is he still able to get that registered even though?
Yeah, I mean, I would, even though it's the date of, the expiration was 19, I think he's still
Okay.
works under the executive.
Okay.
Governor's order. Okay, so Mr. Paz, I'm gonna dismiss the registration at this time because technically you still have time to renew online.
Okay.
The governor's order, so I'm gonna dismiss that one. Okay, now tell me about your driver's license. Why is it invalid or suspended?
I had child support with that, and I had the driver's license since my girl couldn't drive no more because she was in the hospital. I drove for her. Happened to happen that we're moving out at the same time. I went through China Grove, Foster Road, and 87. That's where I got caught. They saw the registration was expired, and it was not due to the update. And that's how, I got caught with that. But my license was going to get, I was going to get it in process of just getting an ID first, get a job, and then go with my, and to get my driver's license and to pay that child support.
Now, is your license still invalid?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what did you want to do with this citation? You just want to pay it, or what did you want to do?
How could I put it so I won't get it on my license because I know it's that kind of.
What you would have to do is that you would have to renew it.
Okay.
At least get it renewed, and then we can do some type of a deferred.
Okay.
Okay. So when do you think you can get that done?
Sometime after we get the registration with the payments and all, and then that way I could go ahead and work with that.
You know that
maybe like next month or something.
So if I give you 45 days, would that give you enough time?
Yes, sir. It should
Okay,
do.
I'm going to reset you for 45 days. Now, Mr. Paz, So you'll know, as far as the registration in our court, I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss that charge.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So because like I said, under that governor's order that we saw earlier, you still have time.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Paz?
Mr. Paz, you're still on East Houston Street?
On East Houston? No, I'm over
Okay,
here.
hang on just a second. It's okay. Don't say it because we're recording this and it's live on YouTube and I don't want everybody to know your address. So if you can please call us at the number you called us earlier. Give us a call and give us your new address because I need to mail you your reset form, okay?
Okay, I texted this morning.
The new address?
The new address, the name and the zip code.
And the phone number.
And the phone number.
What are the first 3 digits of the phone number that you texted from?
210.
It's 210. Oh, you're talking about the 4 numbers in the back?
Yeah, that's fine too. The last 4.
6223.
6223?
Yes, if not, it was 7793.
I got it.
You got it?
Well, nope, it's not on that one. Oh, there it is. Okay, I've got it.
Okay,
I'll
that's
go
the
ahead
one.
and make note of your new address, okay?
I was supposed to send it yesterday, but I sent it this morning. I got late on me.
No problem. We've got you. All right. I think that's all we need for today.
Okay, Mr. Spas, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
No problem.
Tom Mead's
Thank
back.
you. Mr. Mead, who were you visiting with?
Your Honor, I was visiting with, who was I visiting with?
You were with Jason Dennis, maybe?
Oh, yeah, that's who I was with.
Okay, he's on the middle of page 4, Judge.
Got him.
Mr. Dennis, Mr. Dennis wants to enter a plea of guilty to failure to maintain insurance, 6 months probation, $300 condition he maintain insurance. On the failure to provide evidence of insurance, I'm going to no price that. On the expired registration, Mr. Dennis wants a 30-day reset, Your Honor. The reason being that he got his registration done 2 days after he got the ticket. He didn't pay the late registration fee. He would like to do, and he needs to do that.
Okay, so reset for 30 days?
Yes, that's the registration only.
Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Dennis, where are you? There you are. Mr. Dennis, did you listen to what Mr. Mead represented to the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is that your understanding?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so to the charge of failed to maintain insurance, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of no contest, place you on deferred for 6 months, special expense fee of $300. And how is that gonna be paid, Mr. Mead?
He's going to pay at least the court costs today, Your Honor, and needs time to pay the rest.
Okay, so balance by end?
That's fine.
Okay. Okay, Miss, and then with the charge of failed to provide evidence of insurance, where the state is gonna non-prosecute that, so that'll be a dismissal. And then we're gonna go ahead and reset the expired registration for 30 days so you can pay the late penalty fee.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Dennis, do you have the number to the court so you can pay that court cost today?
No, I do not.
Okay, Clarissa, you want to give that to him?
Yes, I can. Do you have something to write with, Mr. Dennis?
I do.
Okay, it's 210
Uh-huh.
648 4923. I'm sorry.
4923.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. And when you get that late penalty fee paid, give us a call back on that time as well, so we can go ahead and give you a number to text that over to us, and we can verify that you did that, and we can get that one dismissed. You shouldn't have to come back to court for that one either.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, Mr. Mead, I have Emmis McLeod. He is on page 4 at the top. 3 violations. And I'm gonna go ahead and send y'all, Mr. McLeod, can you unmute your phone, please? You're gonna go in the breakout room with Mr. Mead.
All
Okay, Judge, we have, I think, yep, there we go. Stephen, yes, Cepeda, he's on page 1.
Okay.
Mr. Cepeda, can you unmute your phone and talk to Judge, please? There we go.
Okay, Mr.
Hello?
Cepeda, earlier I administered a note. Do you acknowledge taking the oath, sir?
I got on late, Judge.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give in this call will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Cepeda, to the charge of improper lane change, how do you plead?
Improper lane change, not guilty.
Not guilty, okay. And, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and enter a plea of not guilty on the insurance. That way you can talk to the prosecutor.
Okay.
Now, if you're not able to reach an agreement, did you want a trial in front of a judge or a jury?
Judge is fine.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and set it on the non-jury docket, Clarissa,
Okay,
on both cases, and that way Mr. Mead can visit with him on that particular day.
very good.
Okay, okay, Mr. Cepeda, do we have a good address for him, Clarissa?
You still on Rigsby Avenue, Mr. Cepeda?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
We're
Mr.
good.
Cepeda, we're gonna send you a court date for a non-jury docket. On that particular day, you'll be able to have a chance to talk to Mr. Mead. That way, if you can't work it out, we'll have a trial that same day.
Okay.
All right? Okay, sir, unless you have any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and excuse you.
No, sir. Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, you can log off.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
okay, we got a couple more people here. Nicholas Berger still waiting. And Julia James, they're both gonna visit with John Mead. They have multiples. We have somebody here by the name of Christian's iPhone. Let's see who this is. Hi, Christian. What's your full name?
Christian Rios.
Okay.
Okay, he's on page 4.
Right at the top. Okay, so he's number 25, Judge.
25? Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, Mr. Rios, did you just join us right now?
Yes, sir. I was in a meeting, so.
Okay, no, that's okay. No, I just want to make sure, because I have to administer an oath before we get started. Would you raise
Yes,
your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. You can put your hand down now. Okay, Mr. Rios, you have a charge of speeding 80 and a 60. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, and then you also have a charge of driving while license invalid or suspended. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Tell me about your driver's license. What, is it still invalid?
Yes, and I'm working on getting it back. I just recently found out I have warrants in Windcrest, Texas.
Okay.
And I was actually going to pay them this week on Friday.
Is that why your license is invalid?
No, I actually I got in a obstruction of highway like 3 years ago or 4 maybe, and then they suspended my license.
Okay. All
and
right.
then my license expired while it was suspended. So you know, I just haven't had the time to take off of work to do it or the money, but I'm making a little bit more money now. I'm a foreman at my company, so.
Okay, good.
I'm able
That's pretty
to.
good without a license.
Excuse me?
That's pretty good without a license.
Yeah, I guess they like the way I do
Yeah,
things.
it must be good. Okay, so what did you want to do on these 2 citations, sir?
Excuse me, sir?
What did you want to do on these 2 citations?
I guess I'll pay them. I thought court was the 27th. I guess I read the ticket wrong. So I was planning on trying to get my license before the 27th.
Is
So,
that
you know,
possible?
maybe I could get it dismissed or,
Well, yeah, it won't get dismissed, but at least give you a chance to get deferred so it won't go on your record.
okay.
Do you think you can get it done within 30 days?
Possibly, yes, sir.
All right, well, I'm gonna reset your cases for 30 days. And I'm gonna do so you can, to get license. All right, and then with that, that's gonna open the door for defensive driving on the speeding, so it won't go on your record.
Yes, sir.
So that'll benefit you in multiple ways.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Clarissa, do we need anything from Mr. Rios?
Mr. Rios, are you still in Perrin Vital Road?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's where we'll send your reset notice, okay?
Okay, and it's apartment 106.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Okay, thank you, Mr. Rios.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. Okay, all right, I see we have Mr. Mead back.
Yes.
Okay, and you were with Mr. Ennis McLeod?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. McLeod, can you unmute yourself, sir? Okay. There should be a button there on the lower left-hand corner if it's a regular laptop.
Unmute. There you go.
There you go.
Sorry about
He
that.
was unmuted when he was back there with me, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Mead, were you able to reach an agreement?
Yes, we were, Your Honor.
Okay, what do we have?
On the no insurance, Mr. McLeod is going to plead the no contest, 6 months deferred, $300, condition maintain insurance. On the speeding, 90 days deferred, $250. I'm going to no pros the failure to provide evidence of insurance. Mr. McLeod's going to pay the court costs on both tickets today. And I told him he could pay the remaining balance on the speeding over the term of probation and the remaining balance of the insurance on the over the term of probation with the court's permission.
Okay, all right. Is that your understanding, Mr. McLeod, of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to the charge of speeding, 60 and a 45, how do you plead?
No contents.
Okay, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest, place you on deferred for 90 days with a special expense fee of $250. You will pay the court cost of $134 today, and then the balance by the end of the 90-day probationary period. I'm going to go ahead and accept your plea of no contest to the charge of failed to maintain insurance, place you on deferred for 6 months with a special expense fee of $300. You will pay court costs today, and then you'll have 6 months to pay the balance. Okay, did I leave anything out?
No, sir.
Very good. Okay, do you have any questions, Mr. McLeod?
No, sir.
Okay.
Would I be receiving any kind of paperwork in the mail with for the probation, or do I have to come to any classes or anything, or go to anywhere for the probation?
No, what we're going to go ahead and do, Mr. McLeod.
Okay.
Mr. McLeod, if you just contact the court office, we'll go ahead and take payment. We're going to get your paperwork together and mail it to you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
But there's no classes connected with this, Mr. McLeod. It's just,
No
okay.
reporting.
yeah, just make sure you maintain your insurance and no similar violations on the speeding.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And be sure to call us by 4:30 at the latest today. Okay? So it'll be in effect.
As soon as I hang up right now, I'm gonna try to get you that money. As soon as I hang up.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Okay, John Mead, I have Julia James on here waiting to talk to you. She is on page 2 at the top.
Is everybody else waiting to talk to me?
Of course.
As always. Okay, where
You're
is,
very popular.
where is she?
She's on page 2.
Well, you only have 2 more. Is that correct?
Yes, Julia James and Nicholas Berger.
Because we still have to Mr. McLeod on the screen there.
I'm going to go ahead and remove him.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll go talk to Ms. James.
Miss James, here we go. I'm going to open the room up.
Clarissa, I'll be right back.
Okay. Who?
Hey, Clarissa,
Mm-hmm.
you want to go ahead and let's call the docket?
Sure.
Okay.
Hang on just one second, Judge. I'm sorry. No, this is already a payment plan. You might have him. Was he in court? Okay, I'm sorry, Judge.
That's okay. Well, you know what? We have Mr. Mead back.
That was quick.
Okay, Mr. Mead, you were visiting with Ms. James?
Yes, and she's not back yet.
She's not back. Okay. But
There she
There
is.
she is.
Okay, Ms. James, can you unmute yourself, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am. Okay,
we got-
Mr. Mead, were you able to reach an agreement?
Yeah, we got 3 violations, Your Honor.
Correct?
We got 2 violations from back in May of 2018.
Okay.
And we got a new speeding violation on 2/9 of 21. On speeding number 1, which is the speeding on 2/29/21, in return for a plea of no contest, I'm recommending 60 days deferred special expense fee of $240. On the speeding number 2, on February 9 of 21.
That's the one I thought you just said. No?
That's what you just said.
Either one of them, because they're going to be the same recommendation on both.
Okay. That's easy enough.
The expired driver's license. Ms. James got her driver's license. I'm going to take that in consideration and request court to dismiss.
Okay. And no contest to both in speeding tickets?
Yes, and she's going to pay the entire probationary fees today, $480.
Very good. Okay, all right, Miss James, did you hear all that?
Yes, sir.
Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now to the charge of speeding, 57 and a 50, how do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and accept your plea of no contest, place you on deferred for 60 days with a special expense fee of $240, which will be paid today. I'm gonna go ahead and accept your, well, to the charge of speeding, 66 and a 50, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'm gonna accept your plea of no contest, assess a special expense fee of $240, placed on deferred for a 60-day period, and that will be paid today. And did I leave anything out, Mr. Mead?
Nothing that I can think of, Your Honor.
Good. Ms. James, do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, sir. I can go pay that in person, correct?
Yes, you can. If you do it before, what, 4 o'clock or 4:30?
Before 4:30.
Before 4:30.
Okay, I'll go pay. I'll go in and pay it today.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
And then there was one.
And then there was one, Nicholas Berger. He is on page 5. I think. Maybe not.
I can't find him on page
He's on
5.
page
Yeah.
3, top of page.
He's on 3. I'm sorry. He's on page 3. I was looking at the wrong Nicholas.
Let me find him before you send us in.
He's at the top of page 3.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Did you want to call the docket or?
Yes, let's call the docket. What's Mr. There we go. Okay, this is the docket call for April the 7th, 2021, City of China Grove Municipal Court. The following individuals did not appear on for their docket today. Terry Ty Lange, Michelle Maria Zamora.
Okay, Michelle Zamora. She called in a reset, but she already had one reset, so I'm not real sure what happened there, but she did reset her court date today.
Okay. Okay, going back to the no-shows, Michael Peter Sheffield, no show. Josue Abdiel Perez, no show. On to page 2. Aaron Dwayne Dacey, no show. David A. Rodriguez, no show. Isaac N. Stroman, no show, or Stroman. Let me go to page 3. Juan Villanueva Aviles, no show. Trinae Cherie Gant, no show.
Okay, Judge, I'm sorry. Juan Villanueva Aviles. He was put on a payment plan
Oh, okay. Let me take him off.
today.
Okay, so we will withdraw his name from the.
Just a second.
Okay. So then that takes us to Bobby Lynn Caballero,
Okay,
and then Jeremy Scott Holdquist.
huh?
Okay. Page 4, Sharissa Akil Mullins. And I don't know what we're gonna do with Mr. Weddington.
Yeah, he never,
Came back. Then on page 5, Daniel Hernandez, no show. Samuel Jacob Tabor, no show. David Michael Sertuche, no show. David M. Butterball.
okay, Mr. Butterball reset his court date this afternoon.
Okay, so this is reset. Okay, and we have Selena Ochoa, no show. Eric Anthony Contero, no show. Jose E. Villarreal, no show.
The next one, I'm not sure how to spell say his name, Bara. He came to court. I excused him. He needs an interpreter, so we're going to put him with the other 3 we have that need an interpreter on the same day.
Okay, so that's a reset then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Cindy Hernandez, no show. Okay, on Mr. Weeder, I mean, why don't we just give him a reset? Or you know what, Clarissa? No, we don't have a plea from him.
Mr. Weddington, that's who we're talking about, Brandon Weddington?
Yes, uh-huh.
Do you want me to call him and?
Yeah, see if you can get a hold of him,
Okay,
so we can finalize it.
okay. Okay, Mr. MS McLeod, who we just talked to, is on the phone. He doesn't have any money? He says he has less than 200. What is that? 115. Okay, you had okayed him to pay the court costs today for 2 deferreds.
Right.
He told you he could, and he would pay the balance by the end. He just called and said he doesn't have but maybe $200 on his card at the most. Do you want to reset him to do this deferred? He's never been reset.
Yeah, why don't we reset him and we'll treat it like a pre-approval.
Okay, reset pre-approved. For 30 days, right?
Yes.
He has to come, yeah, with the court costs in the 30-day period, or if not, he has to come back to court and go through this. Okay, so Mr. Weddington, let me see what I can do with him. Gotta find a phone.
So we got Mr. Mead back.
Uh-oh.
Let's see, do we have Mr. Berger back?
He should be back in just 1 minute.
Nicolas Berger, there he is. Okay, Mr. Berger, if you can unmute yourself, sir.
Okay, I'm unmuted. It's Berger.
Berger, I'm sorry.
It's a common mistake, sir.
No, okay, thank you. Mr. Mead?
It is Berger.
Did you reach an agreement?
Yeah, we're going to reset the case, Your Honor, for 60 days.
Okay.
We got it worked out, but we need a 60-day reset to put everything in place to make it happen.
Okay, all right, Mr. Berger is Berger. Is 60 days, is that enough time to get this thing squared away?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Okay.
the license appointment is on the 17th of May.
Okay.
Driver's license issue, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. I'm gonna go ahead and reset the case for 60 days then.
Thank you, sir.
Clarissa, do we need anything?
Mr. Berger, you're still on Triple Tree Road?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's where I'll mail your reset, okay?
Thank you.
Good, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can leave, Mr. Berger.
Okay. Have a nice day, y'all.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get a hold of Mr. Weddington real quick and see if we can.
Are we kind of semi-planning on having our non-jury trials in live?
Yeah, that's next week. I'm sorry, hang on just a second. Mr. Weddington, it went straight to voicemail, Judge.
All right, well, why don't we reset him and treat it as a pre-approved plea bargain agreement?
Okay. And I'll get his plea and have him sign it before.
Are we planning on trying to do live non-jury trials next time out?
We were gonna try next week.
That's what I was thinking. You mean I actually got to put?
We need.
You mean I've
we
got
need
to put
have that order, that protocol in place? You know what, Clarissa, let's go ahead and get off of YouTube.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's.
We're gonna go ahead and adjourn.